America Meditating Radio Show, we collect wisdom, inspire each other, and empower hearts 24/7. Hi, I'm Sister Jenna. Join me and guest on Blog Talk Radio as we amplify stories that compel us to be more for ourselves and everyone else around us.
There's no place like home.
Getting home safely is just a click away. Find the right seat for your little one's age and size. Visit safercar.gov/the right seat for more information. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Take a break. Breathe. Why don't you visit the Peace Village Learning and Retreat Center, 518-589-5000.
Are you in need of a tech service company that's going to deliver the best solutions for your business? Then Attronica is your solutions headquarters. Here we specialize in your individual needs to make sure your business shines. For more information, please call 301-417-0070 or visit us at our website at attronica.net. Attronica, where we deliver for you.
Hi, this is Reverend Sylvia Sumter with Unity of Washington, D.C., and I'm here just to tell you how much I love listening to America Meditating with Sister Jenna. It's a fabulous show, fabulous guest, wonderful readings with Sister Gita. It's enough to feed your soul. It's a delight to the spirit. Hope you'll tune in.
The Meditation Museum in Silver Spring, Maryland offers a variety of courses and activities to make your life go a whole lot smoother. Located at 9525 Georgia Avenue, you will be able to experience the beautiful silence that's in the space. There are courses in Raj Yoga meditation, positive thinking, stress-free living, and personal development classes. For more information, call us at 301-588-0144 or visit us online at meditationmuseum.org.
Hey everybody, it's John Duperrin from Project Forgive. How are you doing? You are in the right place for the highest level of conversation to feed your soul. American Meditating with Sister Jenna. Stay with us.
Hello and welcome to America Meditating Radio. I'm your host, Sister Jenna, and we're broadcasting from the beautiful Meditation Museum in Tyson's Corner, Virginia. And if you haven't swung by here yet, what are you waiting for? It's 2016. It's time to do things you've never done before. It's time to elevate, become aware, to empower, to move into that space of divinity and goodness and truth like never before. And guess what? We're going to be completely here for you when you decide to do that. I hope that everything is well for you and life is moving according to how it's supposed to. You know, in one way, we're here playing out our parts, but in another way, we're trying to find a way in how not to be attached to the part. Have you ever thought about that? I was having a great conversation this morning with Patricia Moreno. You've got to check out her website and the work that she's doing at Sati Live. And we really discussed this. You know, we're constantly aiming to have a sense of self-worth and value and respect and appreciation for ourselves, and yet we're struggling. People and us, we're all struggling. And I kept asking the question this morning around breakfast to everyone, what is it? We have to play a part out. We can't stop being a woman or a man or American or Middle Eastern or black or white or rich or poor or fat or skinny. We're not able to stop that immediately. But we're able to stop what we're thinking and shifting that. But what's getting in the way of us not being able to do that, my friends? I want to leave that up to you to send me on an email what you think. AmericaMeditating@gmail.com. What do you think is stopping you from thinking in a new way and practicing your new thoughts? Because you get the thought, I want to go on a diet. I need to lose 10 pounds. But see if you get up in the morning and even do 5 sit-ups. So what's happening there? So let us see how we can break the code of life. And I believe it's rooted in this energy of attachment. We're so attached to our stories that it's not releasing us. It's not letting us live this exalted, incredible, overcapacity way of living. You know, you listen to these entertainers on the air or you watch an incredible movie or a beautiful commercial. They didn't produce that in a low state. They were in an unlimited state of themselves. And why we run to those shows, why we run to feel-good movies or feel-good songs or sad songs or breakup songs or makeup songs or movies of horror or movies of comedy that brings us into this more exalted, bigger-than-life state is because something in our souls know that we should be living like that. And so what's getting in the way? Attachment. So for all of us in the planet who feel that attachment is getting in the way of our narrative, I'm inviting you to let it go. Enjoy my letting go meditation from my off the grid into the heart meditation CD. Breathe in, relax. Om Shanti. The time that we choose to be aware doesn't necessarily require me to just sit and meditate. But even while I walk and move around, I can be in a meditative awareness, which is awareness of the soul, the original, eternal, imperishable being of light. For a little while, I'd like to invite you to be present, to be here, and to be now. Allow your mind to settle in the moment, to relax. This meditation is about awareness. It's about becoming aware of your original and eternal self. It's about connecting to your truth. Let go of your name. And observe yourself feeling nameless. Let go of your gender to discontinue thinking you're a man or a woman. Let it go and observe how you would feel walking around without a gender. Let go of the role that you play and let go of the titles that you own. Observe how you're feeling as you are gradually letting go. Let go of your religion and put it aside just for now. And let go of your nationality and even the language that you're accustomed to. Imagine you have no name, gender, role, title, religion, nationality, or even a language. Ask yourself, how do you feel at this moment? And in this feeling, who would think of you and who would you think of? The Supreme Soul would think of you, and you, the liberated soul, would think of the Supreme. In this state of absolute freedom, I am truly who I am. A free, peaceful, pure, immortal, and eternal soul. Allow yourself to just be absorbed in this awareness. At this time. Welcome back, my friends. That was letting go from yours truly, off the grid into the heart. We can't run away from our spouses, work, or country in a heartbeat, but we can detach from the way that we've been attached to seeing the scene and amplify our awareness towards a higher place. And I made that production of that CD to help us to feel better when it really gets really overwhelming and there's just nowhere to run. I can go inwards and I can go upwards. So I hope you all enjoyed that. You can get that copy on iTunes or just visit us on the americameditating.org website. We're very pleased to welcome Dr. Lori-Leyden. Dr. Lori is an internationally known stress and trauma healing expert and uniquely qualified psychotherapist, author, workshop leader, inspirational speaker, humanitarian. And after a near-death experience, she developed the Grace Process, a transformative spiritual practice for heart-centered living. She's the author of the Grace Process Guidebook and the Stress Management Guidebook, Strategies for Health and Inner Peace. She's the executive producer of When I Was Young, I Said I Would Be Happy, an award-winning documentary chronicling the inspiring transformation of Project Light ambassadors. Dr. Leyden also partners with Nick Ortner to head up the Tapping Solution Foundation's Newton's Trauma Relief and Resiliency Project, supporting those traumatized by the Sandy Hook Elementary School tragedy that happened a few years ago and left our country paralyzed. Today, we're really honored to welcome Dr. Lori-Leyden to the American Meditating Radio. Hello, Dr. Leyden. Welcome.
Hello, Sister-Jenna. What a privilege and what a beautiful meditation. I think we could create global healing if everyone did that meditation every day.
I think we should tweet that and Facebook it and hug it and kiss it and send it in the ether because I think you're right. I do. Dr. Leyden, when I made that, I remembered, a lot of folks think that when you meditate, you stop thinking and you just sit there. But I'm in a completely opposite genre of meditation. It means to amplify the quality of your thoughts, that you do things in life. And let me tell you, that year I was on full speed, and there was nowhere to go except inside.
Yes.
Nowhere to go except inside. It was like I had a near-death experience.
Yes, I understand. Wow.
I want to talk about that. That's huge when we reach an experience as captivating as moving away from everything that we're familiar with, where we are no longer in control, but we're in this altered state of bliss. And I know that you had a near-death experience, and it impacted you in the work. Could you share with our listeners what that was like, and how did it change you?
Yes. Well, sister, I think your listeners would appreciate this. Every year I set an intention for my soul purpose. And that particular year I set an intention to heal with the sacred masculine. And in the space of 12 weeks, I had to look inward and face the chauvinism in my life, if that makes sense to you. And I was going through a difficult divorce, and then I had a burst appendix and a botched surgery, which left me in the hospital for about a month. And on this particular night, I had been in great pain for a number of weeks, and it was 3 o'clock in the morning, and I realized, I just couldn't take another breath. I was in such pain. And all of a sudden, I heard a voice in my head say, everything in life is a choice, including taking the next breath. And I was in wonder about that. How could that be possible? And I felt that familiar floating sensation above my body. I had left the pain behind. I always felt a spiritual connection, so I did not feel alone, but I was certainly in wonder that I might be leaving this life at the age of 46 in a way that I had not expected. But I just so enjoyed the peace and the oneness and the peace in my body. And interestingly enough, as I was floating and enjoying this peace and oneness, my 80-year-old roommate, who was behind a curtain which separated the two beds, said out loud at 3 o'clock in the morning, "Dear God, please help my roommate. She's really, really sick." And I said, well, I guess God isn't done with me yet. And I took a breath to laugh, and that's how my lungs started again. And so I hung on till the next morning when I received some other messages that involved basically a decision to follow my heart wherever it would lead me. And that was a very different thing for me. I was usually doing what I thought other people wanted me to do or which would please other people. And so that decision to follow my heart and also to learn to receive love. I had been such a giver, I think in an effort to claim some sense of worthiness and deservability, that it was very difficult for me to receive. Love was not safe for me based on previous traumas. And so the last 12 years have really been about following my heart and learning to receive, which has, truly changed my life in so many ways.
I want to go back to the point about receiving love because I have witnessed for many caregivers and many individuals who have been on the end of giving. I'm not quite sure. It's still something I'm trying to decode. I think that there's something that we do receive in the giving And there's something that if I actually find my life pausing to sort of come out a little bit of my routine, to start to take love, maybe from someone specifically or maybe just something very obviously, I'm finding like, and this is me, Dr. Leyden, sometimes I felt like I didn't have time for that. It was so bad. It was just so bad. It was so bad. And what it was like, I'm fine, you know? So is it that sometimes in our bestowing or giving, we were receiving? However, when we try to categorize the different kinds of love, we've got like love from a parent, we've got love from a child, we've got love from a best friend, we have love from a lover, someone who's intimate, and that always seemed to weigh pretty high on how we feel about ourselves at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Well, you know, this gives me an opportunity to, what I've learned in the last 12 years is that I think of it as the infinity circuit, right? And so the infinity circuit, there appears to be a giver and there appears to be a receiver. And yet when we meet in the sweet spot in the middle, there is only love and we are both transformed. And I had to learn to be more fully present in my heart so that I could receive that love was safe. And once I was able to do that, I could actually honor the quality of my giving. But until I was able to receive, I didn't really appreciate or understand the depth and the impact of what giving can mean, if that makes any sense.
It does. And, you know, we're such a beautiful work in progress.
Thank you for that reminder, sister.
All right, so let's talk about the grace process that you developed from that experience, and how does it help us to be more centered on the heart or more centered in what I would call intentionality or more purity of intent?
Yes. Well, in a series of deep meditations following that near-death experience, I asked to receive what was the next level of my work, how could I help people heal more elegantly and easily. And I received this, what is essentially a formula, which sounds simple, but is more difficult in the carrying out of it. But basically, we choose an intention, we set an intention, and then we look at our judgments around that intention, the judgments about ourselves, another person, or the circumstance we find ourselves in. And then we look at what forgiveness is needed, again, of ourselves, of another, of the circumstance we find ourselves in. This place of judgment and forgiveness is where and lack of forgiveness, I should say, is where the ego becomes attached. And so as we look at those judgments and as we open our hearts to forgive, where it's a process of transcending the ego so that we can live more fully in the higher states of harmony in our hearts, where gratitude, love, joy, and wonder really are the higher harmonics that activate that transcendency in our brain, in the prefrontal cortex. So the heart has its own brain. Heart math and the biology of transcendence explain so much about the heart and the resonance field of the heart. So I went in search of those times when I received grace. And we've all received grace perhaps in nature or in silent meditation or in the dark night of the soul. But it was always uncertain when it would drop in. But I found that when I was in those states of gratitude, love, joy, and wonder, grace dropped in instantaneously. So the work really is around transcending the ego so that we can be more intentional and clear.
Timely, powerful, important, because we're so driven by the ego, Dr. Leyden. I mean, if we don't give ourselves the title of our gender, if I'm attractive or not, skinny or not, religious or not, if I don't give myself the ego title of a Muslim, a Jew, a Christian, or even an atheist, it's like we don't seem to recognize who we are. And I think what makes the grace process then very important, I feel what you're trying to get us to focus on are the qualities of the innate being, the spirit, the light that's within us.
Yeah. Most definitely.
Okay, so you've created a global healing and Project Light, and I know this is all of your unfolding, and you created that global healing and established a Project Light Rwanda as well, I believe. How is that going, and is there any way that our listeners can even help to cooperate with you on that?
Absolutely. I'm returning for the 10th time to Rwanda on Saturday, And I'll be sending out newsletters from Rwanda as I generally do. So listeners are welcome to follow us on Facebook or sign up for our newsletter at createglobalhealing.org. I'll be meeting with my Project Light ambassadors. These are orphan genocide survivors who are now in their 20s to continue our trauma healing, heart-centered leadership, and entrepreneurship work. And we'll be working in a village, teaching Project Light and the grace process in a peace village there. And our hope is to go back and actually replicate and scale our program so that thousands and thousands of people can be trained in trauma healing and the Project Light values. So we would love followers. We would love to have as many hearts align with us as possible.
Beautiful. I think it's really important, and we do want to participate on the AM show, so please let us know if there's anything that we can do to amplify more knowledge of that. Before I let you go, Newton, Rwanda, Oregon, California, your own backyard, what are some of the transformative moments that are emerging from these scenes that we're witnessing far too often? Our president gave a wonderful address on gun control a few weeks back, and he got so emotional and teary-eyed. Perhaps he was thinking of his own girls. Perhaps as a community activist more than anything else, he was thinking of what's up, what's wrong, why aren't you responsible for holding your weapons, what's going on in us, and what's the transformational moment that's emerging as a result of these scenes that we're witnessing too much in our world today?
Beautiful question. And, of course, my work in Newtown and Rwanda, what strikes me always is that miracles can come out of tragedy. And there's such a great contrast going on with violence that I think the call to our hearts have the answers. And when I see these, through the nightmare, I try to see the dream of what's possible and what can emerge from all of this when we finally collectively say, no more. When our hearts have had enough and we find a way to connect our hearts for innovative solutions. We're each a part of this, and we must find peace in our hearts in order to align for peace in the world. And that's what I see, and that's what I feel, and that's what I experience when I'm in the heart of these dark situations.
Wonderful. I'd love having you on the air today. If you ever need to share your story, please don't hesitate to call us and let us know so we could help to support your movement and your story, because I think it's the world's story. Before I let you go, leave us with a website that our listeners can get in touch with you. And one thing, share with me a quote that will just make us elevate our consciousness for the rest of the day.
No pressure there, right? I honestly would say your heart has all the answers.
Beautiful. I love that. Oh, I just feel like hugging you.
Well, consider yourself
so sweet. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Is there a website that we can get a hold of you?
Yes, it's createglobalhealing.org, and I would love to return and tell you how our progress is going.
Beautiful. Have a wonderful and safe trip on Saturday, Dr. Leyden. We love you. All the very best. Your contribution in helping those who seem to be forgotten, always know that it gets counted. Whether anyone recognizes it or not, it's counted in your soul's karma as good deeds, and you will get the reward of that. If not in this lifetime, it has to come back to you in some lifetime, okay?
Thank you so much, Sister Jenna, and thank you for the work that you're doing. It's amazing, and you're touching and lighting up so many hearts.
Thank you so much. All the very best. Om Shanti.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So you can have an out-of-the-body experience and do something with it when you come back. A lot of us tend to feel like, okay, that's it. I'm out of the body. I don't know why. I don't want to come back here. It's awful. It's great here. It's a great place to be if we can just lift our thinking. I'm not asking you to do it for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. But even after this show, just for 5 minutes, have one thought for 5 minutes that is pure and positive and beneficial to a colleague next to you, to your spouse, to your child, to your best friend, to your beloved, to God. Just one thought, just for 5 minutes, uninterrupted. No waste, no negative thoughts, just for 5 minutes. Have one positive and pure thought, and you'll make this world a better place. Thank you for joining us on the America Meditating Radio. Wishing you all the best. Remember, no one can take away your happiness unless you give them permission. We are here to love each other the same. And if you want to make an impact on the planet, change yourself, and the world will be changed. Here's Lifted by Bliss.